I will start my questions to start with
Yeah,
begin with can you briefly explain about yourself in a short form, like introduce
yeah,
yourself?
yeah, okay. Good evening.
Yeah.
This is Kirtana. This is Kirtana and I'm a fresher and my
Mm.
background is civil engineering. As I was interested towards networking, I was choosing cloud and DevOps for my future career and I had done my course in the Naresh IT regarding with this. And I had done some of the projects like Twitter application and database migration
Mm-hmm.
with continuous integration and continuous deployment.
Okay, sounds
Uh,
good.
and, make, and, and making the application with high availability and high scalability with high security.
Oh, you look fresher, right? When passed out? Year of passed out?
2024.
Good.
2024.
Sounds good. Okay. Okay. So, have you pretty interested in IT field sector but especially in the cloud platforms or DevOps? Have you what makes you and motivates you to target this side, coming to this field?
As I was more enthusiastic regarding with the applications deployment and how the data stores like that.
Mhm.
So that's
Sure.
why I had, yeah.
Okay,
So
sounds
that's
good.
the reason I had chosen cloud. And
Sounds good.
for good, can you, yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the technical aspects of first level of DevOps, cloud DevOps round. So what is the Terraform providers?
Terraform providers are the for installation. I mean, for the communication between the as Terraform is the third party tool for the communication between the cloud, like whatever the cloud that we are using, either Azure, GCP or AWS,
Mm-hmm.
to make the communication between the, those are the plugins
Acha. Okay. Okay.
for initializing.
Okay. Where do you keep the Terraform state file?
Uh, for high availability, we store the Terraform state file in the S3.
Okay. Good. So, can you write a Terraform code to create a S3 bucket for multiple regions? Like we have multiple regions like US East and US West, US Southeast,
Yeah,
AP. So, can you write a Terraform code to create a S3 bucket in the chat? Will you possible now? Ping
yeah,
in
it's
chat.
possible. Yeah, okay.
Can you write a code?
Yeah, I'll write. Just a second.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll write the provider block as well as the resource block.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
As the bucket name is unique, we can keep the bucket name as per our requirement. And in the provider block, we specify the region.
Oh, what type of region? Sounds good. Yeah. Okay.
In the provider block, whatever the region we needed, we can specify the region in the provider block, that we can manage the region.
Okay. Do you have any
And
idea
S
about? Do you have
and
any
S3
idea?
is okay. As
Okay, no
S3 is
problem.
a global okay.
No problem. No problem.
So
I understand. I got your point. Yeah, no problem.
yeah.
So moving on to the next question, Do you have any idea about AWS Lambda function?
Yeah, I have idea. As it is a serverless service.
What is it mean? AWS Lambda function. What is the need for it? What is the use of it?
For the temporary purpose of like if we have configured the EC2 and we need to configure the logs from EC2 to S3 automatically, then at that moment we write the block for automatically getting the logs from EC2 to S3 at the time moment for a short temporary purpose. If we use any server at that moment, we can use the Lambda. As it is a serverless service, we can use for temporary purpose. As its runtime is maximum runtime is 15 minutes.
Okay. How to check whether a file in S3 bucket is junk or non-junk file by the Lambda function?
Junk.
So can we have in S3 bucket, we have a junk of files also will be stored. So how will you check it is a junk file or non-junk file? Should Lambda retry without step functions, or which function, how you proceed? Not sure? It's okay.
Not sure.
No problem, no problem. So how to install libraries in Lambda function?
We install the libraries through packages.
Can we able to extend the Lambda timeout limits by default, or can we able to extend?
The maximum time limit is 15 minutes. Until that we can extend. Rather than 15 minutes, we can't extend.
Okay. So what is the difference between RDS and DynamoDBs in the AWS?
The RDS is the relational database. It's the managed service of the AWS, and the tables in the data which we store in the RDS is, has the relation between the tables. But when in DynamoDB, the relation between the data is not too good when compared with the RDS.
Sounds good. What is the difference between ECS, Farragut, and Lambda?
I was not sure about that. ECS Farraguts.
Okay, no problem. Cool. Do you have experience in Python concepts? I mean, have you read it, or have you gone through it? Have you practiced it? Since you are fresher, I know you don't have hands-on experience. I can understand, but you have gone through the concepts, have been practiced.
I have a little touch regarding with the Python as according to my academics, but not a little bit.
Okay. So I have let's assume a situation like you have a team is asked to secure the access to Kubernetes cluster for multiple teams, right, within your organization. So what authentication and authorization strategies would you recommend basically?
By using the rollback strategy, we can use give the admin access to the
respective groups,
users. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. At my end, there are two nodes. Okay. After applying some randomized YML file as per the daemon set process, two pods were created because of two nodes are running each pods, right? Run on each node.
Yeah, by
If if I increase the number of nodes, will the number of pods remain two, or will a third pod will be created automatically?
automatically as the nodes increases, the pods also increases as you are using demon set, right?
Yeah, that's right. So when you deploy the pod through the deployment of YML replica, will create or not? It
Okay,
will create or not?
it will create. Uh, what
When
can you repeat the question once again?
yeah, a pod through the when you deploy a pod through a deployment YML replica
Yeah.
set.
Okay.
Replica set will create it or not?
A replica set will create.
Good. Okay. You have a Kubernetes cluster running multiple microservices, right? You want to ensure that if one of the microservice fails, a new pod will automatically created to replace it,
Yeah, it
right?
will create.
So what Kubernetes resource would you use? What Kubernetes resource you use to achieve this? Like a deployment pod, replica set, or stateful set?
EKS clusters, orchestration, auto scaling. It
Auto scaling.
automatically, yeah.
So when you
It
want
once
to
like in AWS, one server downs, automatically the new server will create, right? Like that in the Kubernetes, when one pod get down, another new pod will create.
sure, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's assume my next
Kubernetes,
question.
Kubernetes
Okay,
has the self-healing, right? So if
yeah,
one pod destroys, it automatically creates the new pod.
okay. So moving on to the next question, like you have deployed an application in the Kubernetes cluster that has
Yeah,
requirement for a specific node to run on based on the label. So which
yeah.
feature you use to ensure the pods run on the appropriate node, like node sector, resource request, affinity rules, or pod priority? We have four options like node selector will you use, or resource request you use, or affinity rules, or pod priority.
Based on our requirement, we can use the all of the four.
Hmm.
No, we can if we use the node affinity, we should specify required specific mandatory. Or if we don't mention required, like if we
Mm-hmm.
mention preferred, we should not use affinity.
Mm-hmm.
We can use the node selector as well. As based on the labels, we can create on the specific one.
Okay, let's assume questions like you are running on a web application on an EC2 instance. The traffic of your application is increased significantly. The instance is reaching maximum capacity, and the best way to handle the this increase in traffic, like for example, a huge Diwali sale, festive sale, Flipkart applications. Just assume like that. So the during the special offer time, the traffic will create more, right? So what will you do
Yeah.
by during the time?
We can implement the auto scaling based on the peak hours. The service may increase. After that, the service may get down based on the traffic.
Okay. So your company have high performance application that requires IOPS. Like for example, hey man, I need a high IOPS performance. I won't compromise on the cost. I need more IOPS. So it's database hosted on the EC2 instance. Which storage option would you prefer? A general purpose SSD or throughput optimized HDD, provisioned IOPS SSD, IO2 or cold HDD, GP3
Provisional
ST? GP3
provision.
ST1 provisioned IOPS IO2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Professional IoT.
Okay, just a minute. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, you have just you have a assume a situation like you have created a VPC with two subnets on one public and one private, right? So how do you
Yeah.
ensure that only EC2 instance in the public subnet can be accessed from the internet?
As
Attaching
the
is
public subnet is already connected with the internet gateway routed, so it's the public server which we create in the and also the IP which we enable at the time of creation.
okay. Okay. So your organization runs MySQL database on RDS instance, right? As is just now you said like RDS is the managed instance, right? So
Yeah,
MySQL database is hosting on the RDS instance. You need to ensure that the database can automatically scale the storage. When you need to
yeah,
accommodate a sudden spike in data might grow. You cannot predict, right? For example, just assume, just I explain you the example like high performance sale during the high peak sale, like festive seasons, and a lot of orders will come, like Flipkart application. So those backend MySQL database will hosted and drastically increase. So by the time, if you want to ensure the database automatically scale the storage, when you need to accommodate suddenly spike the data, what would you enable? What would you enable actually? Would you enable auto scaling RDS, read replicas, storage auto scaling, multi AZ deployment?
uh, as for just to so many members are already signed in, we can use the read replica as an option for controlling of the without crashing of the database.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And also, if there is an issue regarding with the availability zone, we can also use the for backup options. We can use multi-agent concept also.
Mm-hmm.
As the scaling is automatically implemented as the RDS is the managed service.
Okay. Okay, you are running on a company runs a mission critical e-commerce application. Same, just assume that Flipkart application is running on a mission critical storage of a RDS instance. The database must be highly available and resilient and regional failures, right? What configuration should you implement?
Uh, we can promote the read replica as a master.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if the region has any issues, we can promote the read replica as a master and we can create.
Okay.
Or else the downtime may record, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you manage a PostgreSQL database on the RDS instance, just like MySQL. PostgreSQL database is also hosted on the RDS. A team member accidentally deleted some data, and you need to record that database on its states from within 2 hours ago, which he deleted. From the automated backups are enabled. What should you do?
If the retention period is there for the backups, we can backup,
Hmm.
or else we can use the snapshots.
Okay, I will give you options like restore the latest snapshot and manually roll back the data using point in time recovery to restore the database to within 2 hours ago. Use AWS Cloud Trail logs to determine the deleted records, or you will contact the AWS support for data recovery.
We can use the snapshot. Lastly, use the snapshot.
Okay, restore the latest snapshot. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And and I have only few set of questions. I have another interview profiles screening. Okay, so I will be
Okay.
wrapping up soon in within asking him by 4 questions. Okay, I have limited time. Okay, you need to migrate an on-premise Oracle database to the AWS RDS instance with a minimal downtime. The database must remain the operational during migration. What approach you should take? Like yeah, I will give you a choice like export the database schema and import the data use the or container shop, or D, set up a VPS peer and migrate the database manually. So you need to migrate the on-premise of Oracle database to the AWS RDS Oracle with a minimal downtime.
We can export, import
Okay.
and export. Then the downtime will be less.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I have another questions like our team needs to manage a Terraform configuration for development, staging, and production environments, right?
Okay.
Each environment should have its own isolated resources, but share the same base configuration. What is the best approach? They want to share the same
Terraform
set of
modules.
whatever
You can
modules?
use Terraform modules. Terraform
Terraform modules.
modules. Yeah.
Okay. So what are the basic? What are those models actually?
Terraform modules are the combination of resources, variable.tf and output.tf with the provider. We can write different providers by calling the same code through different workspaces in the same environment.
Okay. You who who can delete objects? I mean, you can delete objects in S3 bucket with versioning enabled. Who can delete? Only the bucket owner, or anyone with the IAM permission, or anyone with IAM permission to modify the bucket, or everyone?
If we give
Who?
if we give the permissions to someone else, they can delete. If not, the owner only can delete.
Mhm. Okay. Sounds good. By default, how many S3 buckets can you can create for a single AWS account?
100.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bucket size is not defined, but the number of buckets are 100.
Okay. So coming to the Lambda function, you are building a Lambda function that must trigger based on the AWS services. Which of the following cannot trigger a Lambda function directly? Like Amazon S3, Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon CloudFront, Amazon EC2. Which should not trigger a Lambda function directly?
CloudFront?
No. Oh, okay. Amazon CloudFront, you are saying?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, sounds good. And thank you so much for your time. And I will share my feedback to the HR, to the Rajesh, and he will get back to you in the next level of round. And hopefully, we'll see in next round along with my manager. Hopefully, you'll get some positive feedback. Okay. And thank you so much for your time in short notice. And do you have
Thank you so
anything?
much for the.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have anything, Rajesh, from your side?
Nothing, Suresh. I'll call you. Yeah. Thanks, Ketana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
Thank
Thank
you. Bye.
Yeah.
you.